whatever YouTube is knowledge of self-determination. I know I had not done anything about this story, about the Dylann Roof story. I don't know how many of you don't know about this or are not aware, but it is possible that there is a percentage of people out there who have not heard the story. Um, it's pretty brutal, actually. It's a pretty heart wrenching story. This is. Now, let's see. They shed tears and their voices shook, but none of them said whether Dylann Roof should face the death penalty or life in prison for gunning down the church members during a Bible study at Emanuel A.M.E. That will be left up to the jury, which will begin its deliberations Tuesday after hearing a closing argument from prosecutors and perhaps Roof. He has represented himself during sentencing, but has not put up any fight for his life. He didn't call any witnesses, present any evidence, and so far has not asked for mercy. He did not limit the amount of he did try to limit the amount of heart-wrenching testimony the jurors heard, but with only little success. Survivor Jenny Pinkney talked about that just messed me up. Survivor Jenny Pinkney talked about the life of her husband, church pastor and state senator Clementa Pinkney. I hope I said his name right. She spoke about the harrowing minutes she spent huddled underneath a desk with her youngest daughter as shots rang out in the next room, unsure if the shooter was coming her way. In the hours that followed, the mother had to somehow explain the death to her two daughters. I sat in front of the girls and basically told them that something had happened, she said. I think that's the hardest thing that I've ever had to do. Let's see, survivor Felicia Sanders, who gave powerful testimony during the guilt phase of Ruth's trial, wrapped up prosecutor's case Wednesday talking about her creative 26-year-old son, the youngest victim, and his commitment to his faith and Emmanuel. That night, they were getting basic instruction before leaving Earth, Sanders said. I did not know that was going to be the life of them. Law officers took the stand too, reading from a journal found in Ruth's cell. In pencil, on lined paper, 6 weeks after his arrest, the then 21-year-old Ruth wrote that he had, quote, not shed a tear for the innocent people I killed, end quote, scribbling white supremacy symbols and writing his thoughts about other races' inferiority. The jury's decision must be unanimous. If they are unable to agree, a life sentence is automatically imposed. This guy decided not to have any representation whatsoever. He decided to defend himself, and then he just didn't defend himself. White supremacy racism is savage. It's savagery, plain and simple. What would cause white people to have such hatred for black people that you would go into a church with black people and shoot 9 people dead? You killed 9 people, 9 black people, because you believe that black people are an inferior race. And here's the thing. Even with all of the brutality that black people have suffered at the hands of white supremacist, racist white people, it's very rare that you'll find black people committing those kinds of acts towards white people and saying things like, I did this because white people don't give a fuck about us. They're constantly mistreating us, and for slavery. Like, black people aren't out here looking for revenge. Most black people are not out here looking for revenge for the things that white people have done towards us. But white people people like him seem to have this unintelligible, this unbound hatred towards black people for some reason. And I mean, I don't really want to go into much on that because this video will end up being a lot longer if I did go in on that, which is why I make the other videos that I do, like the history of the police and my video, like the symbolism video, which, by the way, the history of the police and their relationship with black people, part 3, will be coming soon. So thank you for your patience for those who have been waiting for that video. But that's why I channel it in that way, because I don't want to go off on some tangent, on some some emotionally charged rant. I'd rather present the information, that is important for us to know, and then put it out there for the rest of everybody else to see, gauge, and pass judgment on it as they see fit. But white supremacy racism has got to go. It is an Achilles heel for black people and for the people of this country. How can we ever progress and move on into the future with the best for all mankind in our minds, in our hearts, when we have to combat this kind of this kind of lunacy? Now, I don't hate anybody. I'm gonna just get this straight. I don't hate anybody, but I do not have love or like anybody who does not love or like me. I'm gonna just get that straight right now. You could be a white supremacist racist, and stay your ass over there, wherever you are. Stay where you are, or keep it to yourself. But the instant I know that you don't like me, I don't like you either. I'm all about giving you exactly what you give me. I don't have to hate you, but as soon as I know you do, then basically it's fuck you. It's fuck you too, for the most part. I don't have time to walk around with just unbridled hatred for anybody. It's a waste of time and energy. But this kid is a psychopath. He is out of his fucking mind, and he deserved to be punished to the fullest extent of the law. I'm not here to pass judgment on this man and say he deserves the death penalty or whatever. But life in prison, I could definitely say he deserves that. He killed 9 people. But you guys be the judge on whether he deserves life in prison or the death penalty. My condolences to the families that he has single-handedly destroyed. In one afternoon, he single-handedly destroyed the lives of these 9 people and their families. Their family lives, these families, these people will forever be altered because of the acts of this one man. Because of these acts. Now, what he did, it's not comparable to what the 4 idiots in Chicago did. It's not comparable at all. The case of the football player, was it in Texas? The football player that sodomized the black kid, the mentally challenged black kid with a coat hanger who got off with fucking probation. Now, those cases are comparable. And if he got off with probation, those 4 kids in Chicago should get off with probation. They should not be charged any more harshly for what they did than that white kid was charged. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if we're going to be equal and fair about our judgment and passing judgment on people, then let everybody. If everybody's going to get, slaps on the wrist, then let everybody get a slap on the wrist. Don't just make it about white people getting a slap on the wrist. If black people get charged with the same shit that a white person does, they should get a slap on the wrist too. You know what I'm saying? Like that should be how things work. If justice really is blind, but we all know justice isn't blind because the people who are judging you can fucking see. So how is justice blind when the people who can judge you can see? And they say that the law is blind because the law doesn't have eyes, but the people who write the laws do. The people who write the laws do. The people who implemented Jim Crow laws. Yeah, Jim Crow laws can't see, but the people who wrote those fucking laws can. So justice really isn't blind, especially when you have a 100-to-1 ratio for crack versus cocaine arrest, which I think is now down to 18-to-1. I mean, come on, justice being blind, that's a crock of shit, and we all know it. We like for it to be. That's the ideal. That's the goal. But as long as people are racially prejudiced and biased, justice will never be blind. It'll never be blind. And if he gets off with anything less than life in prison, then you know for a fucking fact that this country is fucked up, and so is the law. But I just wanted to rant about that a little bit, just put that out there, update you guys on the situation and what's happening with this case. Let me know what you guys think about this. What do you think that should happen to Dylann Roof? Should he receive life in prison, or should he, receive the death penalty? What do you guys think about that? Let me know in the comment section. Like, learn, and subscribe. As always, I'm out. Peace.